At 4 p.m., in a university laboratory in Michigan, a patient's heart stopped. The monitor went flat, the lungs stopped moving. By every definition of modern medicine, they were gone. But the computer showed something nobody in that room could explain. The brain was not shutting down. It was waking up. A massive surge of electrical activity, more powerful than any living brain they had ever recorded. Not a glitch, not an error. Something was happening after death. We are asking the one question science is finally too afraid to ignore. Why do we die? It is the oldest question in human history. Older than language, older than fire, older than every civilization that has ever risen and fallen on this earth. And in an age of satellites, artificial intelligence, and machines that can map every cell in your body, nobody has the real answer. Not one single person on Earth. By the end of this video, you will understand why death is the greatest mystery ever asked by a human mind, and you will meet the one creature on this planet that has already solved it. Let us start with what we know for certain. When you die, your heart stops. It sounds simple. It is not. Your heart has been beating since before you were born. At just 22 days old, inside your mother's body. That muscle started without anyone telling it to, without a signal, without a reason. It just started. It has beaten 100,000 times every single day of your life, 2.5 billion times in a lifetime, and then one day it stops. Within 4 minutes, your brain runs out of oxygen. Within 6, your cells begin to decay. Within 10, the process that makes you you begins to shut down permanently. But this is where science ran out of answers. Because if death is just a machine breaking, why did the patients in Michigan show the most powerful brain activity ever recorded? After the machine stopped, in 2023, researchers found that the dying brain produces gamma waves. The same waves your brain uses for its highest level of thinking, for deep dreaming, for moments of sudden insight when everything becomes clear at once. In the final seconds of life, the brain was not going dark. It was processing something vast, something we cannot see from the outside. Over 15 million people in America alone have reported a near-death experience. 15 million. These are not people on the edges of society. These are doctors, pilots, engineers, grandmothers, soldiers who have seen everything, children who had no words to describe what they saw. And they all describe, almost exactly, the same thing. Leaving the body, a tunnel of warm light, a peace so complete they did not want to return. Seeing people who had died years before, and then being pulled back. But the cases that stopped scientists cold were the ones with proof. A woman, blind from birth, described the exact color of a nurse's shoes on a floor she had never visited. A man whose heart had stopped for 11 minutes described a conversation happening 2 floors below, word for word. How? If the brain is the machine that creates you, how can you see when the machine is off? Here is the deepest problem in all of science. Your body is made of atoms, but those atoms change. Every 7 years, almost every single atom in your body is replaced. Your bones, your skin, your blood, your brain cells. You are literally not the same physical object you were a decade ago, and yet you are still you, which means you are not your atoms, you are not your cells, you are not even your brain. You are something that uses your brain, something that lives inside the body, like a driver, inside a car. Scientists call this consciousness, and it is the most mysterious thing in the entire universe. Sir Roger Penrose, one of the greatest scientific minds alive today, spent his entire career on this one question. His conclusion shocked the world. The brain does not create consciousness, it receives it. Like a radio receives a signal from somewhere far away. The signal exists, whether the radio is on or not. So what happens to the music when the radio breaks? David Chalmers, one of the most respected philosophers of mind alive today, he gave this problem a name. Not around gold, not around power, around death. They spent more time, more resources, more human effort on preparing for death than on anything else they ever built. The pyramids were not simply tombs for kings. They were launch pads, vehicles designed to carry the soul into the next world. They wrote a book for the dead, not about the dead, for them. Instructions for navigating what comes after, step by step, room by room, as if death was not an ending, but a journey that needed a map. The most sophisticated civilization the ancient world ever produced believed, with total certainty, that death was not the end. They built the greatest structures in human history to prove it. Were they wrong? He called it the hard problem of consciousness. The easy problems of science, how the brain sees, hears, processes information, those can be solved with neurons and electricity. But the hard problem is different. Why does any of it feel like anything at all? Why does seeing the color blue feel like something? Why does hearing music you love feel like something? Why is there an experience at all, instead of just a machine processing data in the dark? Chalmers argued that no amount of brain science will ever answer this. Because the question is not about how the brain works. The question is why there is someone home inside it. And if nobody knows why consciousness exists in the first place, nobody knows where it goes when the brain stops. 2 billion Christians believe the soul lives on after death. 1.5 billion Muslims believe the same. 1 billion Hindus believe the soul is reborn into a new body. The facility is called Alcor, located in Scottsdale, Arizona. Inside its walls, 224 human beings are currently stored in liquid nitrogen. Their bodies perfectly preserved. Their legal status not dead. Deanimated, waiting. The oldest person inside has been waiting since 1967, nearly 60 years, waiting for science to catch up. The cheapest option costs $80,000. The most expensive, $200,000. People empty their life savings, change their insurance policies, leave detailed instructions with lawyers, all for one chance that the radio can be repaired. This is not a small group of people. This is the majority of every human being who has ever walked this earth. For thousands of years, that's across every continent, every language, every culture. Human beings have believed, without being told to believe, that death is not the end. What if they are right? And what if science is just beginning to find what they already knew? Now, we come to the creature that has already solved death. In the Pacific Ocean, there lives a jellyfish. Smaller than your fingernail, its name is Turritopsis dohrnii, and it does not die. When it grows old, it does something no other creature on Earth has ever done. It goes backwards. It transforms its adult cells back into their earliest form, and then it grows again, fully, completely, young. It has been doing this for millions of years. This is not a story. This is not ancient mythology. This is a real animal, in real oceans, alive right now, today. An animal that has solved the problem, that has defeated every human being who ever lived. Then there is the Hydra, a creature the size of a grain of rice. Scientists have studied it for over 50 years. 0 signs of aging. 0. If nothing kills it from the outside, it lives forever. Biological immortality is real, which means death is not a law of nature, it is a biological problem. And problems can be solved. The most powerful people on Earth have decided they are not going quietly. Google created Calico. One mission only: defeat death. They have spent billions. Brian Johnson spends $2 million every year, 111 pills every morning, monthly blood tests, scientists monitoring his body 24 hours a day. His biological age is going down. In Arizona, 400 people are currently frozen at minus 196 degrees, not buried, not cremated, waiting For the day science repairs the radio? Are they crazy? Or are they the only ones who took the question seriously enough to fight back? So why do we die? Biologically, evolution only needed us to survive long enough to have children. After that, we were on our own. But consciousness is a completely different question. Every brilliant mind who has ever lived on this earth has stood at the same door. Einstein stood there. Your grandparents stood there. Every king who ever ruled, every soldier who ever fought, every mother who ever held a child stood at this exact same door. And every single one of them eventually walked through it. Maybe death is not an ending. Maybe it is a door. Maybe the signal does not stop. It just moves to a frequency we cannot yet hear. We do not know. And maybe not knowing is the most human thing of all. It is the mystery that gives life its weight, its beauty, its wonder. What do you think happens when the radio breaks? Is there a signal waiting on the other side? Leave your answer below. I read every single one. Stay curious. This is WonderMindful.